Life is pain, and not even necessarily in a suffering way where you have to go through real life hardships, but in a tangible, every single day way. When you wake up, you have a choice. You either embrace the pain of discipline or you suffer the pain of regret and not doing what you know that you should be doing. And this concept alone is something that I'm sure a lot of y'all are familiar with, but it's just a fact that, it's often overlooked because we don't necessarily realize how important discipline is until we get into a point or a stage in our life where we no longer have time, or all the opportunities that we may have had have suddenly faded away. And now we're starting to realize that things are looking way more scarce than they may have ever looked before. And this isn't to say that you can't make adjustments at any point in time in your life, but this does emphasize the importance on focusing on being disciplined at this very moment rather than waiting until the last minute. But the concept of discipline itself is never going to be a walk in the park. A lot of people don't want to wake up at 5 in the morning and go chase their dreams. Or even if they may feel like that's something that they're genuinely interested in, it may be hard because they haven't developed this into a habit, so it may be uncomfortable for them. But I'm here to let you know today that there's going to be pain in every decision that you make. But there's good pain and then there's bad pain. There's the pain in knowing that if you're able to overcome certain challenges, then they will be worth it in the long run. And then there's the pain in knowing that you didn't necessarily do what you were supposed to. You didn't live up to the expectations that you may have had for yourself. And you simply didn't put yourself in a position to succeed and get the result that you want, and now you have to deal with the consequences of it. That guilt, that feeling of what if, that feeling of knowing what you possibly could have turned out to be like, but you just simply weren't disciplined enough. And I'm a firm believer that there really is pain in anything. There's pain in everything. Just apply it to anything that you could possibly want in your life. There's a reward system and then there's consequences for not doing certain things. You as the individual just have to be willing to make that choice and decide which side you want to be on. If you want to deal with the pain of being disciplined or the pain of just sacrificing your future dreams and your hopes and just being complacent. And one thing that I feel like is very important to take into account is the fact that discipline is just more than a routine. Because I feel like that's where people often get confused, is they feel like, okay, if I wake up for a week straight or even a month straight and I do the things that I said that I was going to do, I may be waking up at 5 a.m., I may be going to the gym, I may be striving to get the results that I want out of life. That does not necessarily make you disciplined. Discipline is being able to put yourself in a position where you may be uncomfortable and you still persist to get the result that you want. You stand firm on the things that you may believe in any type of situation. Under attack, you do not fold under pressure, you prevail, and you keep striving to get the results that you want. That's what my version of discipline is. So, in order to acquire this form of discipline, you must first change the way that you choose to view the world. Your perception is everything. Even in the darkest moments of my life, I still chose to see light, the light at the end of the tunnel, because I understood that just like there's dark days, there's going to be good days, and those low moments should not bring you down. You should be able to see it through. Doing the things that make you uncomfortable, doing the things that you may not feel like doing. And that's why I feel like it's very important to not go based off feelings, to not allow yourself to feel something and allow that to dictate your next move. And I say that because how often our feelings change. Each and every day, majority of the times, I wake up feeling something different. Some days I wake up feeling very ambitious and ready to conquer the day, and other days I may not. So if I were to allow my feelings to dictate this overall discipline that I may have, then it'll be a constant roller coaster and I'll never get anywhere. As somebody who's striving to get somewhere, you have to understand that you have to have your feelings in line. There is going to be moments in your life where you don't feel like doing a lot of things. There may even be moments where you feel like giving up, but you can't allow this feeling to steer you off course or to stop you from being disciplined. There's been so many problems that I've had in my life, just as far as with my growth journey, but I always kept my discipline no matter what. Through heartbreaks, through hardships, through low moments where I may have struggled financially, I've always stayed disciplined. And then I reached a point in my life where I realized how significant this form of discipline is, because everything can change around you. You can lose it all. You can go through things that break you down. But if you're disciplined, if you have that structure, If you have that mindset, then you are going to continue to move forward because it is in you to do so. And now I want to dive into the pain of that feeling of regret. If you don't allow yourself to be disciplined, if you don't allow yourself to stand firm on your principles and the things that you know you should be doing, there will always be consequences. And in that moment, it may feel easy to just accept that form of defeat. In that moment, it may feel good to not necessarily do what you should be doing because it takes the pressure off, or it makes you feel okay. It makes you feel like you're in this bubble where you're safe and everything is just all right. You may even feel like it's okay not to grow because this form of growth puts you in a position to be uncomfortable. But being safe just because you feel safe does not necessarily imply that that's where you need to be. That feeling of safety does not necessarily always mean security. And this is a common mistake. And I even had times in my life where I felt like safety felt like security. But safety oftentimes is a projection of those feelings that you have inside that you're afraid to actually face. It's a projection of your deepest insecurities because you're scared to put yourself in a position where you feel vulnerable because you know that vulnerability makes you feel exposed. If you can learn how to put yourself in a position where you may be fully exposed and still keep your head up and still stay disciplined, then the world will be yours. I promise you, you can get anything that you want out of this world because you're not afraid to put yourself out there in that way. But there's pain in that feeling of regret. And it may not even necessarily be right now, but at some point in your life, when you mature and you wake up, you're going to realize, what did I do? Why was comfort more important than me chasing my dreams? Why was me being right here feeling like I'm in this safety net more important than me going out and getting the things that I may have wanted out of my life? Because now that I'm 40 or I'm 50 years old and the opportunities that I had when I was younger are no longer here, I'm starting to realize that I missed out on a lot. You don't want to be the person that has those thoughts or that lives with those regrets. We all know that accountability is so hard for a lot of people, but just look at it like this. Accountability is something that, as a human being, whether it's work life, whether it's relationships, whether it's just your overall well-being, accountability isn't something that you can lack. I'm not afraid to make a mistake. But one thing I am afraid of is waking up at 50 and living with that pain of regret because I didn't do everything that I felt like I could possibly do in my life. And really take that into account no matter what it is, no matter how crazy it may sound, no matter others' viewpoints on certain things that you may want for your life. You need to understand that it does not matter. You need to go out and do those things, because if you do not, you will reach a point in your life where you look back and you realize, I should have at least tried. Now I will never know, but I should have at least gave it a try. But ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen? What are you so afraid of that's stopping you from going out and facing that fear of, rejection or pain head on, so that you can get through what you need to get through so you can acquire the life that you may want to live? Are you afraid of what others may think? And I actually went through a stage like this once upon, a time in my life where I felt so critical on the way that I was moving, to where other people's viewpoints on me actually mattered. They actually did. But if you allow what one person or what the next person say about you to get to your head and to get you off course, then life will be very hard, and you have to reach a point within yourself where you're confident in yourself no matter what's going on, no matter what anyone has to say. And the reason behind this is because there are billions of people on this earth. Billions. Each and every last one of us with different viewpoints, with different opinions. We speak different languages. We have different skin colors. So there will always be something different. And a lot of people really just will not align with what you have going on, or even care to express that it's even something valid. So it really just does not matter. Do what you can to change the structure and the overall way of your life. But the last thing that you want to live with is that pain of regret, knowing that you have the capabilities to do something, but you just simply didn't. But if you made it to the end of the video, I just want to say thank you so much. It's your boy Blue J Tay. Drop a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.